So good afternoon, everybody. And firstly, I would like to thank Shashank and also our expert for the day, Devika, to come and join us for this fantastic, topic that we have that we're going to be discussing a little in depth. And thank you all the attendees who have taken time out to get a few insights on the topic that we have that we are going to be discussing, which is fitness for the first time, do's and don'ts. Right. So before we jump into the questions for Shashank, you, and as well as for Devika, you, I just wanted to quietly point out that Happiest Health is organizing something called the Move Fitness Summit, which is going to be held on 8th of June in Koramangala, and it is going to be the first of its kind summit. And we have a brilliant lineup of speakers who are going to be speaking on all things fitness. We have Anju Bobby George, who is going to be coming and sharing her knowledge with us. We have Shwetambari Shetty, who's a dance and strength fitness expert. We also have Shweta Rathore, who is the winner of Miss World Fitness, and she herself is an international athlete and a speaker. We also have Josefa T, and we also going to have Preeti Rajagopalan. So my team and Happiest Health are going to share the link for the attendees to actually buy the pass. Everybody, please be here. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind summit. It's a physical summit. It's going to start 9 a.m. 8th June, St. John's Auditorium in Bangalore. So the questions, by and large, Shashank and Devika are going to be around. They're going to be primarily for people who are just starting on their fitness journey now. They are a little skeptical. They want to do something about the fitness. However, they think they are not able to find the time or the right encouragement or the motivation for it. So, Shashank, the first question is for you. So, what is the regular amount of exercise you think is required for, say, a 25 to a 35-year-old?
At least a minimum amount of 40 minutes or to 45 minutes is the best time. They have to keep it aside for them because
Hmm.
not everyone can give time for the fitness because they don't know how to change their lifestyle and prioritize their health also. At least
Right.
minimum on a 24 hours day, minimum of 20 45 minutes amount of time they do need to get. Let it be around 23 to 35 year old, let it be women or men. There's
Sure.
a regular basic amount of time which they have to get.
And do you think for the first timers, doing this 5 to 6 days a week straight away can be a little intimidating, can get them anxious? Can they start on a little lower scale and build it up?
Yes, yes. They need to
Yeah.
first learn the basics,
Yes.
start from at least 3 to 4 days of exercises,
Right.
recover, give time for recovery. That's very important, which none of them know. And most of all, before joining any fitness industry or any kind of fitness, they need
Mm-hmm.
to have a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Let it be a coach or a nutritionist. They need to have an educated person.
Sure.
Not everyone are educated over here in this industry now because they just tend to teach all bro science, which is
Right.
not at all
Yeah.
helping out anyone.
Got it.
So yeah, first they need to know the basics first. Then at least 3 to 4 days of first step into the exercises field. That's the best part, I would say.
Fantastic. Great. Also, likewise, Devika,
Yeah.
Indian diets are considered to be a little unhealthy. However, people feel that as long as you're eating at home, it is healthy, which is not usually the case, right?
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
what advice do you have for people who are looking to change their diet between the age of 25 to 35? What are the
Hmm.
first things that they can do?
So basically, first thing they need to focus on a balanced diet.
Hmm.
Balancing your meals is very important. You need to combine your meals in such a way so that you can follow those things for a longer period of time. And also, it can get you, the people who are following a balanced kind of diet can benefit out of it. Okay, so if I'm
Right.
talking about a balanced diet, so balanced diet is considered as like including three macronutrients, which are very important: your carbohydrate, fat, and protein. Those are the macronutrients which is required in a larger amount. And if we talk about micronutrients, that is vitamins and minerals, that is required on a less amount as compared to macronutrients. So
Okay.
they need to balance their plate in such a way. Suppose if someone is eating dal chawal, okay, so the amount of rice should be like this, and the amount of pulses should be like this, and the amount of salad should be like this. So
Got it.
this is called a balanced plate. Okay.
Right. Right.
So this would be my advice for a 25 to 35-year-old, whoever is going to follow a diet. Initially, they need to start focusing on balancing their meals first. Then later on, they can focus on other things.
Fantastic. Good piece of advice. Usually, also given Indian kitchens, Indian families, they tend to eat till they are very full. And if they're
Yes.
not very full, they think that at least the mothers of the house think that kids are still hungry, the spouses are still hungry. But do you think this is a good practice?
Actually, this is not at all a good practice. We need to eat when, suppose if we are eating a plate full of food, okay? So we need to eat at the time, we need to stop at that time whenever we are feeling, yeah, we are full. We don't have to like eating, and we have to control our portion size. That is very important. Controlling a portion size plays a very important role if you're going for a weight loss or any other diseases as well. In controlling your portion size plays a very important role. So you need to control your portion size. Suppose if you are taking two rotis, and if you think that you will be able to manage in one roti, so you can
Mhm.
do that. No need to go for another roti. So like this, you have to control your portion size. And along with the diet, there are certain other factors as well, like keeping your hydration levels high. This will also helps with balancing your meals and keeping your portion size in control, and
Wonderful.
incorporating a bowl
Right.
of salad will also helps in balancing the meals. So these are the things which they can practice, so that they will feel full for a longer period of time, and they can control their portion size as well.
Fantastic. A very useful piece of advice. Usually it just goes against what the thought processes are in Indian kitchens. I'll come back to, I have a few more questions regarding the
Sure.
diet in the Indian kitchens. But my next question, Shashank, is for you, is that, the usual concern with people starting off with a fitness routine, especially in India, is that they're not able to find the time. Even since you were saying it will only take, say, 40 to 45 minutes, they're not able to figure where those 45 minutes are going to come from. So, any words of advice on how they can manage time better to fit the fitness schedule?
Yeah. First advice would be by starting off your day with the exercise would be a good start for your day, because
Right,
everyone will be busy at the work or anything in like throughout the day. But
right,
people don't know how to prioritize their lifestyle or when to give time for their fitness journey always.
right.
People think, we'll do it in the evening, we'll finish our work and get back and do it in the evening. By the time they get back from the work and do it, they'll be so stressed out and they don't hit the gym.
True,
First, they
true.
need to prioritize their health. That time they will definitely come and start the fitness in the morning. I think that's the best time, to kickstart the day for your fitness.
Right,
And most of the people who goes to the IT profession, they especially they need to prioritize their time, because
right.
they give time at least 9 to 10 hours. They give time for their work, but
Also, yeah, you're absolutely right. And also, what happens is that they're working maybe, say, UK shifts or US shifts, and they may not be probably free, say, early mornings. So perhaps for them, they can manage it a little better towards evening, early evening.
yes, they can. That's what I'm
Mm,
saying. They have to
mm,
prioritize the timing for them. Like your lifestyle has to be changed. It's not only about your work.
mm.
They have time to go out. They have time to go out and eat anything else, party outside the same way. They need to give at least an hour time to
Mm.
fitness.
Right,
That time
right.
definitely their the cycle of their lifestyle will definitely change.
And so for everybody who is listening and who is tuned in, I would want to add that 3 to 4 days in a week, Shashank and we bump into each other at the gym that I go to. And no matter how early do I come to the gym, Shashank is already there and has probably finished half his workout. So yes, practicing what you're preaching, Shashank. You're there starting your workout early and finishing it early, and you're fresh for the entire day then, right?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
yeah, that's
Oh,
a commitment what we give for our
right,
general wellness.
right.
Which I do motivate my clients as well, because the clients whom I have is all IT professionals.
Hmm,
Even they come early as possible so that they finish the workout and they have a lot of confidence at least to start their day. They shouldn't
fantastic.
have that mindset
I
that
vouch
okay,
for
let me
that.
finish my work and go. They're
True,
already
true.
confident after finishing their work. So
Got it.
that's how they start the day.
Sure. Also, Shashank, another big misunderstanding is in, people wanting to start with fitness is that fitness needs to be only in a gym. It cannot be outside the gym. Now, and a lot of times then they totally strike it off by saying, I cannot find time for the gym and it only needs to be a gym. So let me not even start with my fitness journey. So what do you have to say to that? How can there be fitness outside the gym?
There are a lot of fitness things to do outside the gym also. At
Mhm,
home also they can do it.
mhm.
You just need to know what's your goal first. It's not
Sure.
only about weightlifting.
Right.
You can be fit by doing Pilates or yoga or dance. That
Hmm.
can be done inside the house.
Right. Right.
You need to know what kind of first you need to set your benchmark.
Hmm.
What goal you do need to have.
Got it.
That is the main priority first. Then
Hmm.
outside you can go out for a football or 1 hour swim. That's more than enough, I would say, to keep yourself active. Being active at least throughout for an hour a day, weekly 5 days, it is not only about gymming. There are a lot of
Understood.
other activities to do also.
Got it.
So they need
So,
to know what is their fitness goal, and they can fix that from that.
so interesting that you're talking about fitness goals because my next question is on that. What should be the fitness goal for the first timers, for people who are just starting on the fitness journey?
Everyone knows, fitness is just about weight loss or fat loss or going lifting weights over there. They need to know what's their health,
Right.
what's up with they need to change their lifestyle, and general wellness. They need to change. They need to change their flexibility. They
Hmm.
need to change their eating habits.
Hmm.
That's the main thing. Eating is very important. They need to just start, like from the scratch.
Hmm.
It's not only about going weightlifting or and they need to even give rest.
Right.
Then people tend to hit the gym or hit the gym or any swimming or badminton the whole week. They
True.
do it for a couple of hours, 3 hours. That's not right.
Right.
We do need to give rest for our body. That
Fantastic.
time, actually, from
I agree.
the step by step, we need to start.
Right. Right. Wonderful.
That's the
I
first point here today.
Sure. Sure. I would also want to add right now for all the people who have tuned in, all the attendees, that if you have any questions for Shashank on fitness or for Devika on nutrition, you can please keep typing your questions in the comment section, in the chat section, and we will have 5 to 10 minutes right in the end dedicated, and we'll get your questions answered. Right? Devika, next question is for
Yeah.
you, and it is around diet management.
Okay.
And usually, diet management, at least in India, is about dieting, is about
Hmm.
cutting out what you don't want to eat or eat less just because you want to lose weight. Is
Hmm.
that the right thought?
So it's not at all a right thought. Although diet management and dieting are basically related concepts, but they are different in their implications and approaches. Okay.
Mhm.
So if we talk about diet management is basically focuses on long-term goals, sustainable changes to one's eating habits. And
Right.
if we, on the other hand, if we talk about dieting
Mhm.
is basically considered short-term, and if somebody is looking for some short-term goals, like if they want to lose weight for a wedding or something, so they can go for a dieting. But yeah, if they are looking for some sustainable and long-term goals, then diet management would be a perfect thing for everyone, I would suggest. And also, diet management basically involves controlling your portion size,
Mhm.
balancing your meals, and also going for better choices of food, better food choices. And on the
Right.
other hand, if we talk about dieting
Mhm.
basically there are different types of diets which are very popular these days.
Mhm.
If we talk about keto diet, if we talk about Mediterranean and paleo diet, these are the diets which are very, very common these days. So
Right.
these are the short term things which they can opt for if
Mhm.
they are looking for a short term thing. But for a longer period and sustainable weight management, diet management would be a perfect thing.
Understood. So it's an interesting point that you brought out that, maybe if they are looking for a short-term goal, maybe they have to
Mhm.
attend an event or a
Mhm.
competition for that matter, maybe dieting is the way to go, but it is something which is more sustainable, more
Yes,
lifestyle oriented. Your diet management, nutrition management is how
is
one
very
should go
important.
about it. Right. So, but then do tell me that dieting, and I'm talking for a short-term goal, if
Mhm.
one is able to even achieve that goal, will the results be reversed as quickly? if one were to go back to their usual diet?
Yes, yes, definitely.
Right.
So if they are dieting, suppose if they are doing a keto diet, okay, so in keto diet, you have to specifically eat particular kind of food, okay?
Right. Right.
So once you can't eat that particular food for a longer period of time. You cannot sustain it for lifelong, right?
Right.
So once you will go back to your normal routine, your regular diet, you will
Right.
again start gaining weight.
Got it.
So that is why I'm telling that this is a very short-term approach.
Understood.
And if
Understood.
somebody is having a long term set of mind that, yeah, I want to lose weight for a longer period of time with my regular routine and forming good habits, basically, it is forming about a habit of
Got it.
eating good food.
Got it.
Okay. So, this is actually a saying like people actually eating so much junk food these days that they are considering regular food as dieting. Okay. So, this
Understood.
is not at all a thing that if you are taking a regular meal, you are balancing your meals, you're combining good amount of carbohydrate, protein, and fats. So then you will be able to sustain it for a longer period.
Got it.
So better to go for my advice will always be, I always suggest my clients and my patients that go for a sustainable diet. Don't go for any diet management. Yeah, it will take some time
Sure.
to lose weight or to achieve your goal. But yeah, that goal will be for a longer period. You
Got it.
won't get it reversed back.
So slower the process, longer lasting the results are. Shorter
Yes.
the process, the more easily it can be actually reversed, right? That's a fantastic piece of advice. Shashank, now tell me, now in managing this sort of a diet or managing this kind of a nourishment or a nutrition regimen, how important is exercise and fitness to supplement it?
It is as important as the nutrition is as well. It
Right.
is like without nutrition, no none of the goals would be achieved. That's for sure.
Right.
They need to balance their diet as well as their exercise the same way.
Hmm.
Because they say 70% of your results come from the 60.
Right.
So yeah, they need to balance it even on nourishment itself.
Fantastic. Great. So Devika, coming back to the nutrition, and I'm going to keep doing this, going between nutrition and fitness back and forth because both are equally interesting to me as well as to the attendees, is much like other ingredients in the Indian kitchens, Indians are also heavily dependent, addicted, or are leaning on sugar
Yes.
as a key ingredient in a lot of things. Please firstly tell us what are the harmful effects of processed sugar.
So basically, if you are taking processed sugar, first of all, you're adding more calories in your diet. Okay,
True.
that is the
True.
most important. And mostly, I heard the concern from my clients that adding sugar will increase your calories. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the first thing that it will actually impact your calorie intake.
Mhm.
And secondly, if we talk about sugar, sugar is basically a processed food. And if you are keep consuming sugar for a longer period of time, it won't only affect your weight, but yeah, it actually affects other things as well. Okay,
Right. Right.
it will affects your insulin resistance as well. Okay, if you keep on burning up your body with sugar, so
Mm.
it will impact your sugar levels. It will directly impact your sugar levels, and indirectly it will impact
Mm.
gut health and other things as well. So my advice would be cut down sugar. I usually tell my clients that don't consume sugar. If you are planning to cut down sugar,
Mm.
suppose if I'm telling you that you have to cut down sugar from the next day, it won't be possible for you, right? So
Right.
better to do it slowly and gradually. Okay. So suppose if you are a habit of taking 2 teaspoons of sugar in 1 cup of tea, just cut it down to 1.5 teaspoon. Then slowly and gradually after a week, you can cut it down to 1 teaspoon. Then
Yeah.
slowly and gradually you can cut it down to half teaspoon. In this manner, you will be able to form a habit of cutting down sugar and you will be able to follow that properly.
Understood. But also, do tell us a little bit about sugar substitutes. I'm not talking just about artificial sweeteners, but I'm also talking about honey, if that can be used, and what are the pros and cons of that?
So I usually don't recommend honey as a sugar substitute because honey contains more calories as compared to sugar.
Okay.
Okay. And it doesn't contain that much of nutritional value as well. So if someone is going for a weight loss or any fitness, they are on their fitness journey, I would recommend that don't go for honey and don't think honey is a substitute for sugar. And if
Right.
we talk about other substitutes, so
Mm-hmm.
date sugar is a very good substitute for sugar. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
it is natural. And also, if we talk about coconut sugar, which is being popularizing these days.
Mm-hmm.
So, coconut sugar is basically low in calories and it is very nourishing. It
Got it.
can help in balancing the electrolytes as well. Okay, so they can substitute it with coconut sugar. And coconut, the
Very
best
interesting.
part is coconut sugar has similar taste as sugar. So
Wow.
that can be able to incorporate coconut sugar in their diet. Okay, and if we talk about other things like maple syrup is also a good substitute for sugar. It is low in calories, it has good benefits as well. So maple syrup would be a good option.
Wow.
And
Right.
another way is to sweeten their, if they are preparing their desserts or something, so they can sweeten it with some sort of natural nuts like figs. Figs has a
Yes.
good amount of sweetness in it. Okay,
Yes.
so they can substitute it with figs, or they
Right.
can sweeten it with any fruit like banana, mango. They can sweeten it with apple as well.
Sure.
Suppose if they are preparing some smoothies kind of stuff.
Right.
So there are so many substitutes for sugar.
Got it.
Just it's
Got it.
about opting it for and making it a habit out of it.
So, Devika, I have a very interesting question. I mean, I really like the advice that you're giving on the ways Indian kitchens can sweeten their diets and their meals. Is there something called an adverse effect of no sugar at all? Does something happen if our bodies don't get any sugar, be it processed, be it natural?
Yes, definitely.
So, what
Definitely.
happens?
If our body is not getting enough sugar, then we might get into this condition called hypoglycemia. Okay.
Okay.
So, to avoid that situation, we need to consume sugar, but on a moderate basis. We don't have to exceed it in our diet.
Awesome. Great. Shashank, from a fitness expert standpoint, what do you recommend in terms of, firstly, I would like to ask that what do you think are the adverse effects of excessive sugar intake? Not just in the diet and
Definitely,
what it does to the body,
yeah.
but what it does to a fitness regimen.
That will definitely eating a lot of sugar will definitely lead to your cutting down your habits, and that will keep away your even your fitness journey also, because
Right.
that craving will become more. Your habit of having junk also improves there.
Yeah.
So I would definitely suggest keep a limit. I would never say people, yeah, as Ram said, we should have a moderate, and there's a balance of having your sugar level also, because
Got
our
it.
electrolytes also will have sugar, or your protein also might have sugar.
Right.
So definitely, we should, whatever you do, we shouldn't exceed the things for us.
Fantastic.
And
Great piece of advice.
whatever we exceed, totally our habits will change. Then we'll definitely lead into junk or any other habits. And there's no
Understood.
point of doing any exercise there.
Got it. But does excessive sugar intake also lead to lethargy?
Definitely, because yeah, that's the habit of being lazy. Also, you having, it's not only about sugar. Sugar
Yeah.
will next lead to any other junk like
Right.
cheese or any other thing.
Right.
That's the
Right.
first step of going to junk and going to a bad habits. So
Got it.
definitely that would make to them.
Got it. And at this point, I would want to tell all the people who have tuned in is that we have Happiest Health is conducting Move Fitness Summit on the 8th of June in Koramangala in Bangalore. And we have a brilliant lineup of speakers and experts who are going to be coming and lending their expertise and their wisdom for everybody who is interested in fitness. We have Anju Bobby George. We also have Shwetambari Shetty. We have Shweta Rathore. We have Josefa T. Preeti Rajagopalan. We also have Dr. Ayappan Nair, who is going to be joining us from Manipal Hospitals. And if all of this is not enough, we also have a very interesting a fitness circuit that we are going to be conducting from morning till evening, and it is going to be open to everybody. And it also has giveaway cash prizes worth 1 lakh. So if you can all see the QR code which is appearing behind me, it'd be a great time to scan it, enroll for it, and we'd love to see you there. Now, coming on to the next question, Shashank, this one is for you.
Yeah.
Proteins are the building blocks of muscles. We all know that, right? Can you tell me how much protein is necessary for, say, a 20 to a 40-year-old to be taking on a daily basis who wants to start in a fitness journey?
To be a basic starter of a fitness journey, I would definitely recommend 1 to 1.5 per kilo of his body weight.
Okay.
And if he's already into bodybuilding or something, definitely that would go up to 2 to 2.5 kilos of his body weight.
2 to
That's the
2.5
basic
grams per kilo of body
grams
weight, right?
per kilo of body weight.
Understood.
Yes,
Got it.
that's the basic.
Wonderful. And Devika, veg diets in India tend to kind of lack in a protein intake as opposed to, say, a non-veg diet or a carnivorous diet. What are
Mhm.
good sources of protein for Indians which are available in Indian kitchens?
So if we talk about vegetarian sources of protein, there are plenty of vegetarian sources.
Okay.
Okay, so legumes and pulses are a very good source of protein.
Hmm.
And soybean is a very good source of protein. Okay, and if
Okay.
we talk about other sources like tofu, tempeh, and milk products, there are various kind of proteins available in Indian kitchen which people can incorporate in their diet. Okay,
Hmm.
and also like if you guys have heard about sattu, which is being
Yes.
made from
Yes.
roasted chana. So
Right.
sattu is also a very good source of protein if you will be incorporating in your diet. So there are multiple ways you can incorporate proteins in your diet, and my suggestion for the audience would be to incorporate protein at least to take 20 to 25 grams of protein in each meal
Oh,
to
okay.
make. So that depends upon anyone's fitness and goals as well. But yeah,
Mhm.
this would be my recommendation that try to incorporate protein in each and every meal of your diet.
Very interesting. But also, what I have heard is that people who do not know much about protein or about fitness, they tend to be a little scared about we have too much protein, something's going to go wrong. But
Yes, yes.
usually that is the thing with everybody, with everything. If you were to overdo anything in your nutrition or
Anything would,
overdo
yeah.
anything in the gym, it will have adverse effects. But speaking of protein in general, would you be able to tell us what is there anything called too much protein, and what does too much protein do?
Yes. So too much protein is the protein which you are consuming. Suppose everybody's requirement is different. Okay.
Right.
Everybody's recommended amount of protein is different. So
Hmm.
if I'm telling you to take 2 grams per kg ideal body weight protein and your requirement is around 1.5 grams. So that is your protein too much, that you are taking too much of protein in your diet. And once you will start taking too much protein, it will start building up and it will impact your kidney. Okay, your
Right.
kidneys will get burdened out and also it will start accumulating in your body. So that will actually have a harmful effect on your kidneys, and it will start increasing your uric acid level, and it will
Right.
affect your creatinine level. So there are multiple factors that will be get affected by increasing your protein intake. That is why it is very important to take protein by discussing with your healthcare professional especially, and knowing how much protein is required for your body. Then only you can start with any sort of protein.
Understood. Very useful piece of advice. People tend to either be a little scared of protein or they tend to overdo it.
Overdo it.
Right,
Yes.
right. So we need to have at least about, say, 25 to 30 grams on your plate in each meal. However,
Yes.
if you are pursuing a fitness active lifestyle, the way the Shashank is saying, then about 1 to 1.5 grams per kilo of body weight is a good starting number, right? Great. Also, Shashank, now the question for you is
Yeah.
that first timers, people who are just initiating in the fitness journey, either they are too scared and they're not able to find time or the motivation, which we have addressed. The other end of the spectrum is that they are so over motivated that they tend to overdo it in the gym, right? And they think that a good physique, a good fitness level is something that can be achieved in a relatively short span of time. which I know is not the case, right? It is a lifestyle alteration, it's a lifestyle choice. It takes years and years and decades of willpower and change, right? And I'm guessing all of us will agree. However, when people do tend to overdo it, they are going to be very prone to injuries. So, what is your piece of advice for people who are suddenly getting into soreness, are getting into, ligament tears, they're getting into, various other kind of gym injuries?
One thing in fitness, they need to know basically is they need to have patience. Nothing will happen overnight. No
Yes,
results will come overnight. Though even they take over supplements or overdo anything, it
right.
will not happen overnight. They need to have some patience and they need to give rest for their body. If there's
Okay,
no rest, there's no recovery, then definitely end up in getting injuries.
sure.
First, they need to prioritize their sleep first, which
Right,
none of the people know. They just
right.
sleep 4 hours, 5 hours, and they hit the gym and do their fitness activities for a couple of hours, and there's no recovery for them. And
Right.
definitely, they won't know initially. It will definitely take time. Injuries won't happen initially also.
Mhm.
It will take time after a certain of the period of time, and the injuries will start occurring, and that will lead to a like some people need to have a bed rest or leave the fitness completely. So they need to know, educate themselves, saying they need to give rest
Okay,
and have some patience while reaching their fitness journey.
absolutely. So, or maybe in other words, they need to really love the journey more than the destination. They need to,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. And I have seen that. And so, also, Shashank, what is a good age to start your fitness journey? How early
I
can
would
they start?
I would say there's no age for a fitness. Fitness can be even with your other games also.
Right.
As if someone wants to really hit the gym, that there's a age limit.
Sure.
But if you just talk about only fitness, there's no age limit for that. They can start their fitness at any time. As I said, fitness is not only about gym. It's about your any other physical activity. It's just
Sure.
about general wellness,
Hmm.
keeping your cardiovascular healthier,
Hmm.
and even your eating habits good, and
Hmm.
keeping your lifestyle also healthy as well.
Understood. Understood. Well said. Devika, real quick. Now, a lot of people who have tuned in also, and I have been hearing these questions outside of this webinar as well, is that we all talk about nutrients, we talk about essential nutrients, but we don't know what these
Mhm.
essential nutrients are. We are told everything that we eat is essential and important for our body, but we are not able to prioritize it. And we obviously cannot have all of them all the time. So, do shed light on what are these essential nutrients and what are the sources for these essential nutrients?
Sure. So if we talk about essential nutrients, first the major portion would be the macronutrients. Okay. So
Right.
macro, as the word suggests, it needs to be required in a larger portion. Okay.
Sure.
And another one is the micronutrient, which needs to be incorporated in, compared to macro, it should be less. Okay.
Got it.
So if we talk about macronutrients, there are three major important nutrients, which
Hmm.
is your carbohydrate, fats, and protein.
Right.
Okay. So people here, and I've also heard from everyone that why we should not eat carbs if we are on our fitness journey. We should stop eating carbs. So basically, it's a myth. You need to incorporate carbohydrates in your diet on a regular basis,
Hmm.
because that is basically it gives you energy.
Right.
Carbohydrates, okay. And if we talk about the micronutrients, vitamins and minerals plays a very important role. Okay.
Right. Right.
So, and if we talk about the sources of these,
Hmm.
so carbohydrates are basically present in complex, if we talk about complex carbohydrate, which is being considered more healthier as
Hmm.
compared to simple carbohydrate. So
Hmm.
it is being present in whole grains, okay, and it is present in millets like ragi, jwar, bajra, all these kind of things. Oats has a very good amount of carbohydrates in it. So these are the foods which are rich in carbohydrates. Okay.
Got it.
If
Got
we
it.
talk about protein, protein is basically present in egg, chicken, and also legumes and pulses pulses are a good source of protein, soybean and milk and milk products are a good source of protein. And if you talk about fats,
Mhm.
fats are basically present in basically if we talk about good fats which are present in nuts and seeds, okay,
Mhm.
so nuts like almonds, walnuts, and try to incorporate seeds like sesame seeds, sunflower seeds,
Right.
okay. So in that manner you will be getting good amount of fats as well as good amount of vitamins and minerals as well.
Mhm.
And another important thing is fiber, which is
Mhm.
very important these days. Fiber plays a very important role in weight management, in improving your heart health, and in controlling your blood sugar levels. So, fibers are basically present in your vegetables and your fruits. Okay.
Got it.
The main portion of fibers is in your vegetables. If you are taking it in a raw form, you will be getting good amount of fibers.
Understood.
Okay.
Understood.
Now, on the other hand, if we talk about micronutrients, that is your vitamins and minerals.
Mhm.
So the vitamins are required on a regular basis. You need to focus on mainly vitamin D, B12, vitamin C, vitamin B, all sort of vitamins you need to focus. And also, especially for the females, we need to focus on iron, folic acid levels. All these things we need to focus on.
Got
So,
it.
and if we talk about the sources of these, vitamin C is present in your citrus fruits like orange, kiwi, amla. These are the good sources of vitamin C. And if
Vitamin
we
C.
talk about vitamin D, it is be present in mushrooms. Mushrooms are a very good source of vitamin D. Egg is a very good source of vitamin D. And some fortified foods like fortified cereals and fortified juices are a very good source. And
Understood.
also, fish is a very good source of vitamin D. Okay.
Got it. Got it.
Calcium is also very important. Calcium is
Mhm.
basically present in milk and milk products. So basically, you need to combine all these foods in such a way that you get all the nutrients out of
Mhm.
it.
Got it. And so there is a plate full of foods and drinks that one really needs to look out for to be
Yes,
able to meet all the nutrition requirements and
nutritional
intake
requirements.
requirements. Understood. Devika, you mentioned something interesting. When you were talking about almonds, nuts, walnuts, you were saying there was good fats.
Mhm.
So I am guessing likewise there is also something called bad fats.
Yes.
So what are good fats? What are bad fats?
So see, good fats are those which has more polyunsaturated fatty acid in it. Okay.
Okay.
And the things which contains more monounsaturated and saturated and trans fat in it, that is considered as bad fats. Okay.
Okay.
So if we talk about good
Mhm.
fats are basically, as I told you, that it is present in nuts and seeds. Those are
Right.
a very good sources of good fats. Egg
Right.
yolk. Egg yolk,
Mhm.
people tend to avoid egg yolk because they think that it contains cholesterol,
Right.
but yeah, it is a good source of good fat. So egg yolk is also a good source. And if on the other hand, if we talk about bad fats are basically present in your refined oils. Okay.
Understood.
Refined oil, butter contains bad fat in it. Okay. That is your saturated and trans fats, basically. So I am not saying that you need to stop eating butter, oil, all those kind of stuff. But yeah, you can incorporate butter and all those kind of things as well in your diet, but in a moderate amount.
Understood. Understood. So while good fats are required more by the body, and we should maybe focus more on those, it's better that we can reduce the bad fats from our diet, and we should control it, is what I'm hearing, right? Thank you so much for that. Also, Shashank, now that
Yeah.
a lot of people who want to start with the fitness journey can be overweight according to them and according to their peers, but they want to reduce their overweight, right? But they also want to come with to their fitness journey believing that they can do something called spot reduction. They can want thinner arms, thinner belly, thinner glutes. Is that even possible?
Uh, People don't know that, people tend to come in a harsh place as a trainer to come and ask, I just need to reduce my belly, I need to reduce my thighs. That's totally not possible. They need to
Yeah.
focus on the overall fitness, like calorie or, burning the overall calories over there.
Right.
Full body workout can be done, but we
Mhm.
cannot focus mainly only on a particular muscles there.
Right. Right.
That they need to know. Any clients, any people who come with any sort of issues when they're obese. If like, sir, we need to reduce only this part, the rest is fine. No, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
They need to focus the overall body. Then definitely they'll see results fast.
And likewise, I can also say the same is true for even muscle development. You cannot have overbuilt arms and an underdeveloped chest or shoulders. If you're looking for overall development, then it needs to be like from head to toe, right?
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Everyone comes only with especially boys. They just come with like, I need to have a good bicep, good chest, but never ask about the legs workout or the back workout. So we
True.
need to educate them. See,
Right.
focus on the overall body workout, then definitely you look good.
Sure.
But we need to
Sure.
educate them.
Great. Devika, another
Yeah.
big issue that we have in Indian kitchens, or with at least the younger generation of India, who are office goers, corporate workers, is while they're still managing the diet to an extent, water intake is a bigger issue. They're not able to have enough water. So tell us firstly, how much water do you think grown-ups need? And what is it that they can do in their everyday, habits that can make them include more water?
Sure. So, as per your first question, it is required around 2.5 liters to 3 liters of water per day, which is being required by a healthy adult, okay, as per the WHO's recommendations.
Got it.
Okay. And in terms of incorporating water on a regular basis, if they don't like drinking plain water, they can
Mhm.
try to incorporate certain kinds of things like chia seeds in it. They can put chia seeds in it, or they can put some lemon in it, or they can put some cucumber and also like mint leaves. These kind of things they can incorporate if they don't like drinking plain water. Okay.
Got it.
So in this manner, they can intend to drink more water. Okay. And
Great.
suppose they can also form a habit out of it if they are not really into drinking more water. Like suppose if they are taking around 1 liters of water per day. So slowly and gradually they can make it a habit of drinking around 1.5 liters of water.
Got it.
So we need to educate them in such a way so that they can form a habit out of it. It's not only that you need to drink water only during your fitness time. You need to drink water throughout your life. Okay. So you need to incorporate this on a regular basis so that you can make a proper habit out of it.
Got it. And I have also seen some busy people, office goers, use various kind of apps, which is pinging, which is dinging, and telling them this is time to drink water. And it does help to a great extent because it reminds them this is time to stop whatever you're doing, have a glass of water, hydrate yourself. And at that note, I have come to an end of all the questions that I have, Devika and Shashank, and we do have a few questions which have come up in the Q&A box. But before I get into them, I would want to go to you, Shashank, first, and ask you if you have any parting notes, any words of wisdom for our attendees and what they should be.
Yeah, definitely. People who who really start want to start their fitness journey. People, you guys need to know have a basic fitness goal first.
Right.
And moreover, before joining any fitness industry like a gym or a sports activity,
Hmm.
please to have a educated coach over there.
Right.
Because now people tend to misguide you, there's
Hmm.
give some wrong knowledge that will
Hmm.
definitely cost your health or your life too.
Absolutely.
We
Well
need to
said.
know that first,
Right.
and we need to have a good research about our coach.
Hmm.
Then you can have a word with him and start your fitness journey with them. And especially nutrition, as ma'am saying, that's a major part in the fitness industry. That's the a basic first part. Then comes our exercises. So I think that's the right amount of time we need to give for nutrition and fitness.
Very well said. Devika, your turn. Any
Yeah.
parting notes for us?
So yeah, as Shashank said, that fitness and nutrition plays a very important role in this fitness journey. So people, you need to focus on your nutritional intake as well. Try to balance your diet if you're looking for sustainable weight loss or sustainable fitness. Try to make a like healthier choices in your meals, and also try to focus on mindful eating. instead of going for some fad diets. That is what I wanted to say, and I usually educate this to everyone.
Great. So what I hear is that don't go for fat diets, go for something which is sustainable, which is going to be healthier in the longer run, which you can also uphold and follow. Don't go for fat diets. And in terms of fitness, be excited about it. Do take on your fitness journey, but do take it under the supervision and guidance of somebody who's trained, certified, knowledgeable, so that the person can actually help you in your fitness journey rather than it being counterproductive and you end up hurting yourself maybe in the long or in the short run. Great. Before we get into the questions, Devika and Shashank, I would like to again remind our attendees that on the 8th of June, Happiest Health has its Move Fitness Summit in Koramangala in Bangalore. We again have a fantastic speaker lineup. We have Anju Bobby Jobs, we have Shwetambari Shetty speaking on finding time for fitness. We have Shweta Rathore, who's going to be talking on muscle and bone health. Huzefa T, who's going to share wisdom with us on fitness and weight management. We also have Dr. Ayyappan Nair, who is the consultant for shoulder surgery, sports medicine at Manipal Hospital, talking to us on injury prevention. The tickets for this particular summit are at 499, but however, for people who are attending today, we have a 100 rupee off coupon code. You please scan the QR code which is appearing behind my head and you can register for it right away. Alongside this seminar and summit, we also have a fitness circuit, which is going to be happening parallelly at the same venue. And we are looking at any to all fitness initiated enthusiasts to come and take a part in it. It's going to be very interesting. We have designed it ourselves, and it's going to have monetary prizes, giveaways worth 1 lakh rupees. And as we speak, Happiest has just shared his registration link. So please click on it and you can register right away on it. And jumping into the questions now, we do have about 5 to 6 questions. I'm going to take them up. So this one is for you, Shashank. Would you consider laughter as an exercise?
That's a part of your general wellness, I would say. It's about keeping your stress less.
Right.
Definitely, it's a part of exercise, I could say, because if your stress level is high, your cortisol level is high, and even you can never reach your goal there also, because there's no
Right.
recovery if you have a lot of stress.
Hmm.
Definitely, keeping yourself happier, keeping laughing, or keeping your mind little calm,
Right.
definitely would be a part of your fitness also.
Fantastic. Well said. Um, Devika, the next question is for you. And one of our attendees is asking is that Indians are great snackers. So how can Indians avoid snacking or maybe unhealthy snacking?
Mhm. So, yeah. So instead of going for some unhealthy snacks, go for some healthier ones like unsalted popcorns are a good option for snacking, or you can opt for some murmura or roasted chana. These are a
Hmm.
good option for snacking, or you can go for roasted papad. These
Hmm.
are the things which you can incorporate and try to do it slowly. And also, if you are taking unhealthy snacks, try
Hmm.
to take it in a moderate amount. Try to
Hmm.
control your portion size, and then try to incorporate these kind of stuff as well.
Great. Although this is not a question, but this is just out of curiosity, as an corollary to this question, is what I want to ask is after finishing the last meal of the day, how much time should one give before hitting the bed?
So I usually recommend around 3 hours before
Oh,
bed.
wow.
You should
Wow.
consume your meals.
Wow.
Then only you won't be getting any sort of digestive issues. You won't be
Hmm.
getting any sort of bloating, acidities, those kind of
Hmm.
issues.
Got it. Awesome. Also, do tell us the next question again for you, Devika, is that is beetroot advisable for diabetics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Beetroot, basically, earlier it was not recommended, but
Mm-hmm.
now beetroot can be taken in moderate amounts. It won't affect your blood sugar levels. But yeah, timing of consuming it also depends. So
Mm-hmm.
suppose if you are taking it during the midday time, that would be considered okay. But if you are consuming it during the evening time, so it can affect your blood sugar levels. So try to include beetroot during the daytime.
Understood. So we can have, diabetics can have beetroot.
Yes.
However, the timing is crucial.
Yes.
Got it. Shashank, next question is for you. Anybody who is suffering from high blood pressure, right? Is there any particular exercise regimen that you would recommend that the person can undertake to be able to bring the, hypertension, high blood pressure down?
They need to take it slowly, first of
Hmm.
all,
Hmm.
because going in a high intensity of training would also put them in a high blood pressure also.
Right.
First, they need to start their warm up, then slowly take their exercises there, and end up with the again cooling down. That time, they keep the body level also balanced. That was the
Un-
best part to do it.
Understood. Great. And the last question that we have from our listeners is for you, Devika, which is that for our particular listener, there are certain foods which are causing bloating.
Hmm.
So how can the bloating be reduced or managed better?
Okay. So bloating basically can be managed by incorporating certain kind of foods in your diet. Okay.
Hmm.
So fennel seeds are very good for this bloating.
Hmm.
Fennel seeds, cumin seeds, these are a good sources. So you can incorporate these things in your diet. Post your meals, you can have half teaspoon of fennel seeds. So that will helps with bloating. Also, don't keep a longer gaps in your meals. Just try to have your meals, try to keep a gap of at least 2 to 2.5 hours, not more than
Understood.
that.
Got
That
it.
can also lead to bloating and acidity. Also, if you are consuming tea and coffee on an empty stomach, that can also aggravate bloating. Okay.
Sure.
And incorporate more probiotics in your diet. Probiotics are basically present in curd. Buttermilk is a very good source of probiotic. And kimchi, kefir, kombucha, these are a very good source of probiotics. Okay. So try to include curd and buttermilk on a regular basis. This will help you out with the bloating. And the last thing is very important. Try to take your meals, especially your dinner. Try to have an early dinner. Late night dinner can cause bloating. So make a habit to having a early dinner. That will help you out.
So a lot of probiotics, early dinner, and taking from your answer from before, giving at least 3 hours break between dinner and
Between
hitting bed.
dinner and yes.
Great, great. And that pretty much brings us to the end of this very interesting webinar. And I would like to really thank Devika, you have shared some really useful insights with all of us. And I myself personally have been taking notes for sugar substitutes, such as coconut sugar. And I'm going to check that out in the market because this is something that I would want to switch to myself. And
Yeah.
a big thank you to you, Shashank, as well for giving us time. And you have shared your wisdom and insights in terms of fitness, in terms of how the first timers can really get, introduced to fitness, how they can incorporate it on a growing and an increasing level. So thank you so much, Shashank. Thank you so much, Devika. Thank you so much for your time. Right, and that
Thank
brings us
you.
to the end to this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you.